Good morning, good people. Welcome back to A Moment on Mondays with your girl, your sister. I'm your friend and personal growth coach, Stephanie R. Strong. And this morning, I'd like to speak to you about when the bottom falls out. If you live long enough, you will experience at least one time in your life when you feel like the bottom has fallen out. And I tell you what, I've had a couple of episodes when I felt like the bottom fell out, such as was this past week. This week we just came from out of, if that's even proper grammar. But last week was a rough week for some of us, and it seems as though the bottom fell out. And I tell you what, I have had, I've experienced a full range of emotions behind what occurred at our recent presidential election. But you know, sometimes when the bottom falls out, you just got to give yourself time to grieve, give yourself time to lament, give yourself time to regroup and rethink and you know, kind of pull yourself up by the bootstraps. And I tell you, staying in that place where you think the bottom fell out is just not a good place to stay. In fact, when you start thinking about not wanting to be in this place where you feel like the bottom has fallen out, then you have to come up with an action plan. So when I think about what occurred last week, and I think about how devastating it was to me and many others, I'm kind of compelled to think about, well, what am I going to do about it? What personal commitment am I going to make things better, not just for myself, but for the world at large, the greater good? So this week, I want you to think about that. If some area of your life where you feel that the bottom has fallen out, whether it's personal, financial, whether it's social, or even as a result of this last election, then I want you to really think about, well, what can you personally do to make things better in your sphere of influence? Seriously though, really. Because, you know, we may not be able to change the world at large, but we can change the climate of influence that we have a bit of, you know, impact on. So what I'm suggesting for this week is to spend the rest of the week thinking about ways that you can just make things better for the world around you. Whether you can sow seeds of love and patience and kindness and joy, but also to roll up your sleeves and get to work. You know, and part of, you know, looking at this time in our lives when we feel like the bottom has fallen out, you know, it really kind of drives you, number one, to your knees. And the other part of that is coming up with an action plan, a plan to make things better, not just being carefree and just operating off the cuff, but what actual plan are you putting in place so that in the event that something like this occurs, or the aftermath of such occurrence is foreboding, that you actually have a plan to counter it. How are you going to counter the negativity that we're dealing in, the negativity of the situation that you might find yourself in? So that's what I want you to do this week. So your assignment is to think of ways to plant peace and love and joy, but also to come up with a personal plan of your own and how you're going to make things better for yourself and those around you, and how you might join in with others who are just really trying to make this world a better place to live in. Well, that's all that I have for you today. I look forward to seeing you on next Monday. Make sure you come check me out at presencewithpurpose.net. And don't forget to pick up a copy of my book, When Tulips Bloom, a personal guide for blossoming through the difficult seasons of life. I will see you on next Monday. But until then, make this your best day ever.